Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nicholas Bogroff Gansel, and I am creatively bankrupt. So today, we are diving into Season 1, Episode 8, the series finale of Undone, titled That Halloween Night. Holy shit. This series has been fantastic. It has been insane. I cannot wait to see how it ends. And I mean that somewhat literally. I told you all my theories at the end of last episode, so I'm not going to get bogged down in them right now. Just a few quick points. Number one, I am anticipating this could have a gut-wrenching ending. Just because there are so many ways this could go wrong in every different theory and iteration of this show. There is a way for it to go horribly wrong and end in a gut punch. So, yeah, they could do that. It might end up being really life-affirming and uplifting, but it feels like they're priming me for just an emotional devastation. So hopefully I can survive it. I handled Fleabag okay, so I feel like if I can make it through Fleabag without, falling to pieces completely, I could probably make it through this. The one question I forgot to address last episode was the question of the priest and whether he would have a role moving forward. It doesn't look super likely, since I'm guessing this episode is mostly going to be in flashback, time travel stuff, and then probably right at the very end we're going to come back to the present, or maybe go into the future and have like a tag for less than 2 minutes. That's my prediction, is that we're going to spend less than 2 minutes right at the end in the present and or future. Most of it's going to be diving through the flashbacks. Yeah, so as a result, I don't expect the priest to actually have a role, but I'd speculated that given the huge role he had, moderately huge role he had in episode 6, he might become more of a player. But yeah, I'm not so much expecting that anymore. Alright, on that note, let's dive in, because like I said, I pretty much literally can't wait. Oh, and as always, if you're watching my videos without watching the original content first, you're doing the content a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice. If you really do want your first experience of Undone to involve me, then head over to my Patreon. For just $1, you can get access to my uncut reactions that you can play alongside the original content. Let's dive in. Oh, they keep doing these creepy-ass title sequences! Oh my god. Fuck. I thought she was at the bottom of the cliff, not in someone's yard.
How did you bring me with you?
I summon the spirit of my ancestors. No big deal.
Sure. Whoa, slow down. I can't, that can't be right. Check.
Oh my god, she sees herself.
Call 911.
I wonder if he broke in to steal his research before they could get it from him.
I waited for you.
I know.
All night.
Fuck, this is gonna be so intense.
Stop it! Be careful with the equipment.
Where is she?
I told you, she's not here. Don't touch that. That is a $10,000 magnetic resonance.
Oh my god!
Turns out, it was your wife.
What the fuck?
I know you bring her here at night to do your experiments.
Camilla, I don't.
Alma told me about a dream where she came to your lab and you put the wires on her head like Frankenstein.
Little girls have all kinds of silly dreams.
Oh my
Stop
god.
lying.
See, I remember that. It wasn't a dream, was it?
In a sense, everything is a dream.
Fuck you. Yeah.
But no, that wasn't a dream.
You told me you never experimented on me.
Yeah.
You know how important my work is.
Your work? Or spending your nights with your pretty girlfriend?
Camila,
You care more about this woman than you do your own daughter.
Jeez, you were kind of a jerk.
I was driven.
You were using me
He's
for
always
your
been a
research.
dick.
I was trying to help my mother.
Do not come home again. Ever.
Oh fuck. That I didn't
You
see
don't
coming.
remember any of this?
I can't really stay here.
No. You're not leaving me again.
You're gonna make him stay? Yeah. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, he does.
I'm calling your wife and telling her the truth.
No, don't do that. She'll never let me see Alma again.
And then I'm reporting you to the head of the department. If it comes out that I knew and I said nothing...
No, Farnaz, just, I can't think straight.
Did he kill himself?
I should never have brought you into this. I'm sorry.
What happened when you drove Farnaz home?
Just go up to the red light and stop.
No, I want to know the truth. I want to know everything. Dad.
Fuck.
You missed my turn.
Is he trying to kill her?
There's nothing left for me. My family's been taken. You turned on me. None of my work will be valid.
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't tell anyone anything, I promise.
See, I just don't trust you.
Jacob, what are you doing?
Taking control.
Fuck.
Don't you see? I'm not worth saving.
But Farnaz is.
I don't think I'm strong enough.
Just try. But also not try. But try. Try to not try. You understand?
You sound like me.
Of course I do. You're my dad.
Fuck.
You gonna answer or what?
Are you kidding me? We haven't gotten a single peanut butter cup, and those are the only ones your mom likes.
I need to talk to teacher Alma for a minute, so why don't I put on a movie?
Anything but Frozen.
All right, come on.
Anything but Frozen.
I have to get there before the timelines realign.
Hey, I was actually wondering about that because in Back to the Future, history changes as soon as Marty comes back.
Well, I guess time travel works differently for
Not if
white
you watch the
people.
deleted scenes.
Okay.
Alma?
What's my mom doing here?
I don't know. Why would I know?
Sam said I should come right over.
Damn it.
You called
Fuck.
her?
I have to get you help, even if it means you're gonna hate me forever, because that's what love is.
No, you know what love is? Love is not lying to me all the fucking time.
Fine.
Yeah.
You want me to be totally honest with you? You're mentally ill.
You know what? I'd break up with you right now, but after the timelines realign, I'll have never even met you.
Damn.
Hey, guess what? I know what you've been hiding from me now. You broke into Dad's lab that night.
I'm going to take you someplace where they can take care of you, okay?
What place?
A nice place with the best doctors. Alma, you need to come with me to this clinic.
Nope. I'm going to Mexico.
Alma! Alma, no!
That look. So I don't fully understand why he's showing up at the cave in the pyramid place. Or not pyramid, what's it called? The temple. I think I might have talked over where they explained the connection there. Or at least where they presented the elements that allow you to infer the reason. But I'm kind of just going with it.
I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd say hi.
Oh, hey.
Mom told you to come?
I am doing you a huge favor. Mom's out of control.
Did I ruin your honeymoon?
Nope. Did I not mention that this is the worst day of my entire life and everything is going to hell?
Don't think you mentioned that.
I told Reed everything.
On the honeymoon.
It didn't go well. Oh, God. The Hollingsworth family lawyer is having the marriage annulled. I have to return all of the wedding gifts tomorrow. Oh, thank you for the 6 forks.
They're from Sam, too.
You're nice.
Oh, the night sky motif is back.
There's another one.
What? Damn. I missed it.
That's like the 4th one. How do you keep missing it?
Maybe you're hallucinating them? Maybe she's lost in thought and not really looking at the sky? Okay, moment of truth.
Dad didn't come.
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
I just need a few minutes alone. I know this sounds nuts, but I just need to be sure Dad's not going to come out of that cave. I love you.
I know you do. That's why I know you're crazy.
I'm really glad the relationship between the sisters was redeemed rather than destroyed. No! What are you doing? Don't pause. What the fuck? What the fuck? There's like 90 seconds left. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? Sorry for that. My screen froze because my internet cut out, so I had to refresh it. Are you fucking kidding me? It was like 15 seconds before the end? Fucking shit. Well, now I'm livid. My internet froze literally 15 seconds before the end, completely ruining the tone of the ending. Literally, if it had frozen 20 seconds later, it would have been fine. Okay, so I'm really livid about the fact that my internet fucked up right there at the end. I'm actually going to rewatch that last scene just because I want to actually feel the emotion of it to see how it hits.
I love you. I know you do. That's why I know you're crazy.
Damn, the sky is beautiful. The artist did a fantastic job of capturing the moods on this show. That's a really good ending. You know, when the internet doesn't fuck it up for you. Damn. So, back in episode 2, I'd speculated that maybe the ending was going to leave it ambiguous as to whether it's real or not. There's one other thing that's technically ambiguous. Does she even see her father at the end? She could be squinting like, oh, who's that? Who's that? And then it's just like a random person. Or like, oh, it was a trick of the light. Oh, it was a squirrel. She might not even see her father there at the end. In which case, it's a moot point. She doesn't believe it's real. She's going on the meds. But, cinematically, what we're supposed to infer from that last shot is she sees her father. That doesn't answer the question of whether she's hallucinating all this or whether it's real. But that, I don't think, is really the biggest question. I mean, it's the biggest unanswered question, but I don't think that's really the biggest focus of the story. This was a really interesting look at family secrets, and there was a long-running theme of lies we tell to protect people. And the conclusion seems to be, we only ever lie to protect ourselves, even if it's under the guise of protecting others. And I was right, the dad was an asshole. I turned out to be correct on that. They never confirmed fully that he was sleeping with his grad student. She had that line about, I'm going to tell her the truth about us. But that could have just been in referring to, we stole artifacts, we, did this other unethical shit. One of the many guesses I made at various points was that he killed himself. But that was very late in the game, and again, it was one of like 1,000 guesses I made. You fire a shotgun enough times, one of the pellets is going to hit something. So, yeah. I don't think that qualifies as me guessing the ending. Man. I'm going to need to take time to process this, and it's the kind of show I'm actually going to have to watch again before I can really have a cohesive view on it, because now I know how it ends. There's a lot of stuff in earlier episodes that I'm sure I'd pick up on. Last episode, they had, as she was dancing, that montage of flashbacks of her dancing at various points that we'd already seen in the series, and that was very powerful, I thought. This episode had some moments like that, where it really took footage we'd already seen, like with the You Know Where to Find Me, and it showed all the flashbacks in succession. That was very effective, I thought. And I mentioned this during the reaction, but I really loved the fact that they opted to redeem the sisters' relationship instead of deteriorating it or tearing it down. Because that relationship could have easily combusted based on how it was in the first episode. But actually, like with Fleabag, it's always more interesting when you repair and rebuild a relationship, I think. Maybe not always, but I feel like 99% of the time. Now, that just might be my personal bent. That might not actually be a universal experience. But to me, if you can explore the same themes and make the same points and, construct the same characters, if you can earn a redemption, whether it's of an individual or of a relationship, that has more staying power to me than a self-destruction or a combustion. And actually, I'm surprised they ended up actually doing the thing where her boyfriend Sam was like, I'm gonna get you committed. Like, they really went that route. Now, it didn't end up happening because she ran away, but because I made that prediction a few episodes ago, and then I was like, after last episode, I was like, nah, that's not the direction they're going with this, but they did. Okay, so operating under the assumption that it was a hallucination and she's going to start taking the pills, or actually not even that she's going to start taking the pills, but just that it was a hallucination, that would mean, moving forward, she has to break up with Sam again. Becca is no longer engaged, or no longer married. That fell apart. And her mother's still constantly worrying about her. But if it is a hallucination, and she saw her father at the end, then is she just going to fall completely into a delusion where it's like, hey, Dad's back? Or is she going to be like, oh, it didn't work out, we have to try again? I feel like delusions are often very complicated and able to rewrite themselves around the necessary, they can do the necessary fancy footwork to still function in light of contradictory evidence. That's not based on, I've never studied this professionally, but just based on what I've heard and what I've understood, largely through pop culture. So actually take this with a huge fucking grain of salt, because now that I think about it, most of my understanding of delusions comes through pop culture. But yeah, I feel like the delusion will find a way to justify itself. So if it's a delusion and a hallucination, probably he's going to say something like, we failed, we have to try again, or don't try again because I'm not worth saving, and she'll give up, but still believe she has these powers. But I don't know, there was the thematic stuff they did with, like, theology and religion and cultural heritage, that felt very much like it was drawing on the idea that this is real. The way they connected the story of the resurrection of Christ from, Catholicism and Christianity with this, was it Aztec? I forget, but with this, this ancient ruins and with their tribal ceremonies and dances and stuff. There was a running theme of, like, connection to one's ancestors, connections to one's history, the past still being with us. Although, okay, if it is a delusion, and if she is just full-on schizophrenic and not a shaman, then the way that thematically connects to these ideas is through the idea of medical history and genetics, and the fact that she inherited this altered brain chemistry from her dad, who inherited it from his mom, and the fact that our history does stay with us in the sense that our genetic code is built upon our ancestors. So it still would thematically connect, which I think is what makes it a compelling story. Because if it only thematically connected the one way, then you kind of have to do that interpretation to make it the most interesting story. But the fact that thematically it ties together whether you believe this is, a delusion, a medical condition, or whether you believe this is, magic and superpowers. Fuck, this is just a really good show. The characters were fantastic. They were very grounded, very believable, but they still really popped off the screen. They weren't, like, flat characters, and they weren't like boring. Like, even though it was depicting largely boring people living boring lives, the characters weren't boring. They all had very real, lived-in personalities. They felt like people that you either know or you've met, or, you know, friends of friends. Like, you really feel like when they say certain things, it brought up for me at least, oh my god, I've heard someone say that, or oh, that's just like this person I know, or oh, that's so me. Like, it really felt like these characters were like real, you know, they really felt alive. Oh, I was meaning to Google this before, but I was worried about spoilers. I'm gonna Google real quick whether this is based on Kate Purdy's actual family. I feel like I heard something about that way before I heard anything about the show. It was just, oh, it's like kind of based on her family or her life. Potential season 2? What? Okay, so maybe it's not the series finale. At the moment, it's the season finale, and at the moment, it's the series finale. How old's this article? October 30th, 2019. Okay, so that was a couple months before this shit hit the fan, so who knows. Wait, Undone straddles animation and live action. So is it, like, filmed and then animated over? Because I had that question at the beginning. Sorry, this is just going to be me asking a bunch of questions I already asked. Oh, shit, so they did film live-action camera work on a soundstage. Okay. 800 unique oil paint. Fuck. This is all really cool shit. I wish, you know, I'd been able to find this information without finding spoilers earlier. So it says here... Okay, this is, hang on, what's this article called? The creators of Amazon's Undone on the show's philosophy, that ambiguous ending, and a potential season 2. By s1e8. Sorry, by s1e8. Hopefully, I got that name right. But it's saying, the labor-intensive 18-month process combined Purdy and Bob Waxenberg's scripts with live-action camera work on a Los Angeles soundstage, Austin-based animators, and a Dutch director, Hisko Hulsing, who, with his team, created 800 unique oil paintings for the show's dreamy, hyper-real backgrounds. That is fucking incredible. Okay, so Purdy's actually white, so I guess the stuff with her mixed heritage isn't based on Purdy's life. Okay, here we go. Purdy met Ken Dinesh during her own spiritual journey, which significantly informed Alma's... Okay, so let's see, this is a quote by Purdy. My grandmother was diagnosed with schizophrenia, she said. I've never been formally diagnosed, but I experienced depression and anxiety for sure, and did go through a kind of life crisis, nervous breakdown, mental break, and I think the quote is... I think there's a typo here, but that's where the quote ends. But then it says in 2012, comma, she said, I think it's mental break in 2012, she said. That's when Purdy began to work with healers that incorporate shamanic traditions. When I had this mental break, I realized there was deeper work that needed to be done, healing that needed to happen, not just with myself, but with other people. I need to ask for forgiveness and look at the ways I hurt people. That it wasn't just about one thing I was going through, it was about a whole lifetime of things. It's helpful to do spiritual work, it continues to be. Okay, Purdy studied American Sign Language and deaf culture in the late 90s when Alma's character was growing up. Was a charged moment in that community. In the midst of pride for the difference of being deaf, the cochlear implant became... Cochlear? I never figured out how to pronounce that. Became widely available and immediately controversial. The fear was if people are getting these implants, they'll be taken away from the community. They'll no longer be a part of it. It's a very tight-knit, interactive, loving, emotionally connected community. The language is so visual. It's so emotional in expression. They're worried about losing their language. Fuck, yeah. And if you look at any kind of culture, once you lose your language, it's really hard to maintain the culture and identity. Okay, that's really interesting. So, it doesn't mention Purdy being deaf, so I don't think that part's based on her. Okay, so it sounds like the degree to which this is based on a real story is more that the experience of dealing with the trauma and with having an ancestor who had schizophrenia, that sounds like that's what Purdy really drew on. And she did have connection to the deaf community, but it doesn't sound like she is deaf herself or grew up in the deaf community. So that's surprising. I really thought what it was going to be was that the family and their history was really based on Purdy and her family and their history. But I guess it's much more just Alma and her healing process is sort of based on Purdy's life. So that's still really interesting and cool. I'm really glad I didn't read that article beforehand, because it had a lot of shit I didn't want to know going in. All in all, this is just a fucking fantastic series, and I'd be interested to see what they do with this season 2. Fleabag, I keep coming back to Fleabag when I talk about this show. I mean, it is an Amazon Prime limited series about the relationship between two sisters and their father. Fuck, the similarities are kind of intense when I say it like that. But Fleabag was one of those shows that was a 1 season, and she was convinced it was going to stay 1 season, and then she was like, actually, I have great ideas for season 2. And I really do think Fleabag wouldn't be complete without season 2. Like, if I only saw season 1, I'd be convinced it was complete. I'd say there's no way you can do a season 2. This is what it is. But season 2 is fucking fantastic. And I really love how they dug deeper into the characters in season 2 and what they developed that just we would have missed out on if they'd ended at season 1. Similarly, this feels complete. But if they could nail a season 2, like if they could dig deeper into the characters and the themes and not retread story points, but really be like, okay, now what? What happens next? Fuck, that could be fantastic. Or it could be awful. But honestly, Raphael Bob Waxberg and Kate Purdy have not failed me yet. So, if they are convinced they can do a good season 2, I'm convinced they could do a season 2. And I say, fuck yeah, let's see that kick-ass season 2. So I guess that's all I really have to say. I mean, I'm still processing, so I could probably talk about the show for hours. I just wouldn't say anything particularly coherent. I'm sure after I go back and watch it again, I'll have much more concrete thoughts. But I really loved it. It didn't wreck me the way I was afraid it would wreck me. And I think part of that is because it did end on this great moment between the sisters where it was like, you know what? Whether this is real or not, life can be beautiful and we can be okay. Even when we're not okay, we can be okay to some extent. And that was beautiful. So come back next week and I'll be checking out a completely different show. And, yeah. Please be sure to like and subscribe because I'd love to have y'all coming back on the regular.